Hello everyone and welcome back to Analogue Hate Story. If you see me stream this before, okay, I guess we are now restore, skip scene, it's probably fine. I guess we start with new, because we want to get another ending. So since last time we get like the standard uni. My model is going a bit wild, it seems. Whatever. Since we went with uni before, I guess this time we can start with the other one with mute. We actually... admin access. Enable AI uni. Actually disable AI. Enable. Okay, yeah, I think this was an error before. Yep. Okay, it's the only thing we can do at this point. And we can speak with her. I guess we can skip a lot of stuff now because we already seen it. Skip mode. Yeah. Okay. No. I suppose you can tweet this, but I'm sorry, let me just try something else. Can you understand this? No. You understand nothing. Alright. Okay, sure. But you got so lonely. Having someone to talk to is just really amazing. I thought maybe I would, I never would again. Sorry about the communication barrier, but still. Geez, I'm babbling. I won't hold you up any longer. Here's the interface. I hope it's enough. Okay. You probably already have heard of this, unless there's some other stuff. Actually, what to do? Right, we heard this already, and now we won't hear any more stuff we have heard already. And we have actually already heard all this, right? If we can skip this, we have read this before, so. Okay, we are just clicking through the stuff we have heard before so far. Okay, you have something to say? Probably something I heard before, yes. Just clicking through here now because I already heard it all by this point. Okay, another block. Dismissed by mute. Okay. Yeah, she doesn't want us to see about mute because mute was the actual AI and she's just faking it. The new AI. Okay. Okay. Time to ban a bot. Okay. I was hoping maybe I got a new, like, really talkative guy just wanting to watch, but I guess not. It would have been too much to ask. Yeah, we heard all of this before. Let's see. I mean, if you haven't heard this before, I guess the vote isn't up anymore. You want to know what I think though? He gets mad if I say I'm not interested, so I will say yes. Not her fault. I think they're both really dumb. I mean, it's not that he ever did anything. It's not her fault. She just happened to be there and was married as a political gesture. What kind of person protects her in the skills under someone who only ever just got pushed around? Sorry, I guess I'm letting a little off track here. That's not really very helpful, is it? Yeah, sure. Well, anyway, getting back on track here. Yeah, because of course she is. Hey, Katie. Yeah, thanks for the lurk. I'm also hoping I'm having a nice stream today. We will see. Anything. There shouldn't be anything new here. I also want to get through this kind of fast because... Okay. Captain Reviews was... I did get... Es geht ja a little long last time I played this, so I'm trying to get over this a bit faster. Very well. I don't have much on her that I... Okay. Also, I can, I think, ask her again about this and just tell her also to give me more info on her. And of course, I have a lot on paper, right? Because she had a diary. Confidence. Yes. If there are any questions about the story, because I'm guessing I had a couple of people who might be watching haven't heard of this before. This is basically an old ship we found, and we are kind of detective. We are finding out what happened to this ship because it got lost a while ago. It was like a generation ship that just flew through space, and the generation of the generation lived on the ship because ships weren't that fast. Yeah, a spaceship. I should probably mention that. And something bad happened, and they basically went back to medieval times, and all was shit. And then something happened, and everybody basically died. And we want to know what happened there. Okay. Yes. I just want to know more stuff. Actually don't, because I already know most of the stuff we haven't gone over yet. In the previous stream was stuff we talked about with Mute before. We could talk about with Mute, but okay, I want both, so I'm gonna talk with you again and also say, yeah, never mind. Fine, I won't then. Yeah, we really aren't interested. The thing is, there isn't much about her because she didn't write. Actually did write some stuff, but she deleted this because it was a bit of a no-no for women to write. Okay. She doesn't have to say anything about this until we get to this point. Sure, go ahead. Yeah, we already did this. She's overly dramatic. It's static, let's say this. Yeah. If we go too much against her, she will be like, stop communicating with us, so we don't want that. So we are nice to her for now, and then we abandon her completely once we get to Mute. At least is my real name, yes. Okay. I saw your inner temp. I know what you were trying to do, and Well, we enabled it. Yes, we enabled it. So we can't really know her name from the start and use this because she doesn't let us. Just please, promise me, what does he want to know about? Yeah, I just wanted to know the admin password, sorry. That's what I thought. Yeah, sorry. So I guess now we can get mute. Can we actually... Yes. Just prepare mute, and then we can talk with her a bit. Gonna adjust my mic a bit. And yeah, that's gonna take a bit, but not too long. And then we can talk with mute, which is actually what we want to do during this playthrough. And we want disable, able AI, and enable AI mute. Now we can talk with her. Also, do we want to be a man or a woman? That's the question. We don't actually know much about the character we are playing other than it's a kind of detective who goes around and finds out what's happened with ships in space before. Actually, he might do a lot of much other stuff, not just in space. But the non-space stuff is boring, so whatever. He will treat us differently depending on what we choose. Either way, whether we choose man or woman, she might fall for us. So that's most interesting, I think. I think we'll go with man now. We will play this a couple more times more. Since we can't skip this, actually we choose male last time as well, so next time we go with female. Are there colonies we can say yes or no? I don't think they really point us out either, so we can go with either, but I think there are probably colonies, so we try to say the truth, even if we don't know the truth. If that makes sense at all. So are we from Earth or colony? I think colonies are interesting. Cool, I wish I could ask you what that's like. Like, my memory only goes back 300 years before getting deactivated. So not really up to date. Yeah, you are really not. Pretty much all my knowledge of anything before the year 0 from second hand from the paper Taito diaries, and well, man, they're about as childish as it possibly gets. Guess I'm not really going to find out. Okay, already. Am I married? Is she also falling for us if we are married? I think last time we go with yes. We went with yes, so we go with no this time. Fair enough. Oh, we did go with no last time. Huh. Just you all alone out there? Okay. Oh, I see you. Must be really packed. And I think we basically picked the same options last time, which isn't that fun, but... And I guess we get new stuff. We can also like get her opinion on stuff we already read. So this is Pack of Idiots. Did we hear your opinions on that before? Yes. Something truly scanners. Yeah, that's a fun little section. Yes. Also, we also want the general history, so we will go back and go watch general history. Okay. Okay. It's just the same options, no matter what we choose here. I'm gonna try this with all of them. I mean, there aren't that many, so... And... yeah, block 2 is something we haven't read much about before, so I guess we start with this. I think this might be the truly scandalous part for PLC. Oh, Sojin, when I first saw you bringing your husband home in the late hours of the night, I was jealous. All I could think of was my daughter and the first courtesan he'd had an affair with 9 years ago. With every glimpse of you that I saw, also I'm gonna close Discord now for now. Every glimpse of you that I saw as you passed through your home, my heart burned a little, as if you embodied every single thought of my past of our marriage. I will never send a letter, because I know how ridiculous it sounds. For weeks, I, a noble wife, could be jealous of a poor courtesan, but you are young, beautiful, full of energy and grace. I am none of these things. This is gonna get interesting real fast. Only after you had been entertaining him for months did I start to realize what I was really feeling. True, I was jealous, but not of you for having my husband. I was jealous of my husband for having the affections of a girl so pretty as you. Yeah, nice, Yuri. These are such ridiculous thoughts for a woman to have, I know, and even more ridiculous still is the way they have overwhelmed me. Gonna just a little bit. I used to dread my husband bringing his courtesans home with him. Now I look forward to your nights together. How could I not? When it means that I'm treated to the sight of your precious face in the morning. When we exchange glances, you hide behind your long hair. There's so much cuteness and grace. My eyes can't help but wonder. To admire the way it rests on your breast. To see your clothes draped loosely over your hips. I cannot help myself for admiring your body as you try to hide it from me. It is ridiculous to be so preoccupied with such thoughts. And perhaps I was better off having not ever realized them. Nevertheless, even though I may be as much of a woman as you are, I find myself longing for the same affections you shower my husband with. There's more to it than that. I would like to truly get to know you better. I like to imagine that we have much in common, aside from the obvious. When I see you hiding in the corridor on those mornings, I imagine wrapping my own arms around those lovely hips, having long conversations about our tribulations in life, discovering just how much alike we are, and perhaps I like to imagine could share more than that. I have been married for 10 years to a man who has never paid me any attention for 9 of them. Perhaps my old age has made me bold, but I want more. I wonder how old she is actually. She says 10 years, but if you read the other stuff in there, they marry girls like as long as 16 or something. She could be like 26 and consider that old age. It's a bit much, but I don't know. The next time I see you, I promise I will say something. On all my 26 years, I have never felt a longing for anything this intensely. I don't care how wrong it is. As a wife and as a woman. I want you, Hannah. I bet it wasn't what we are expecting from Noble Wife, was it? I still have a hard time believing that she was really capable of thinking to that. But, well, it totally does get even better, I'll show you. Just be warned, it's pretty depraved stuff. Yes! I want more of it. Show me everything. Oh my lovely Shojin. You made it so easy, you know that? I've always wanted to be seduced. The more I learned about it, the better I got at it. The more I thought about how lucky men are that they get to be the one at the receiving end of it. It always seemed like it would be so much fun. But it wasn't why I dropped my guard around you. By the way, I was actually really worried the whole time you were serving me breakfast. Do you know what I first thought? I thought maybe you were trying to poison me. I mean, not seriously of course, but it crossed my mind. So no, I really was guarded, until you started talking. You know what it was that got me? Do tell me, how hard is it studying to be a courtesan? I answered modestly. Oh, you know, there's nothing to learn. You just have it or you don't. The answer that any man would expect. But you wouldn't have any of that. You said, please don't lie. I actually want to know. It takes years, does it not? It must be intense for a girl of your age. Then you leaned in. I started to bet about how it kind of is pretty intense, and only realized an hour later that I was staring into your eyes, telling you proudly no less about my whole life story. Our faces were barely a foot apart by the time I noticed what you'd done. And that was how you caught me totally off guard. I had no idea what to do. Should I touch you? Was I body language in that situation? Was I even interpreting you right? Or was it just all in my head? Not even the slightest clue. You had me good. And you played it so well. You know just the right moment to pull back and tell me to go my way, but in a way that left me wondering. Chojin, you made it so easy. Returning home, my heart was so fluttered, my feelings so confused, and all I could think about was you. You, the bored old wife of my patron, actually managed to seduce me. Just like that. I'd always wanted to know that feeling. And you know, it was everything I dreamed it to be. You want more from the whore? Yeah, sure, I can do that. Here you go. This one in particular is just wow. Really wow. Yeah, it's super the pace, but man, it's also just what a 16-year-old. Am I allowed to read this? Is this okay? I don't know. Let's just go over it. Here, read it for yourself. I don't think it gets really worse than that. I think. Is there anything before this? More unsent letters. All of them are unsent, like. There's one missing here, but there's some stuff from both Osujin and Hana. How anyone can manage this, I do not know. Whenever I am with you, I feel as though there's so much pressure to be perfect, to not let you down. As if every hour of our being together is like a marriage interview with an emperor. And yet I can stand it when you're gone. All I can think of all day is how I could hold your attention for next time. The night you snuck over knowing my husband was out, I was so terrified. You just suddenly appeared on my doorstep, your face veiled as if you were a noblewoman. And I knew I could hardly turn you away. Do you know why I immediately went to make you tea, making you wait in the other room? To give me a chance to call my nurse. I was surprised to... Meow. Hello Morphe, how's it going? I was surprised to realize you were just as nervous as I. So I knew I could take advantage of that. I put both cards on the same side of the table and sat cross-legged. Come, I said. Sit with me, and gestured. You were so graceful and sitting on my lap, your small body just the right size. And I saw that even you couldn't help but blush. And so we drank tea together. Yeah, that's how a courtesan does it, I guess. But halfway through, you put your cup back down and turned around. So you are facing me, our heads just inches apart. You whispered, forget about the tea. And clasping my free hand, your tiny fingers intertwined with mine. You kissed me, so softly. Up until that point, I had been worried, trying to figure out what I should do. Was I playing the man's role, or were you? But after smelling the scent of your breath and tasting the sweetness of your lips, how could I possibly ignore the passion swing enough to care about such things? You put down my cup and took you by the chin, gently pushing you away. Oh, what longing and uncertainty was in your eyes at that moment, beautiful Hannah. I smiled as I stared back on them, intoxicated with the fact that I had you now literally under my thumb. I unclasped your hands and undid the bow of your blouse, watching your lips quiver as I pulled open the flap covering your small breasts. Running my fingers along the edge, I admired just how soft they were, so perfectly shaped. Are you sure? You started to ask, but I silenced you with that kiss you were so eager for. You shivered as I enjoyed the taste of your mouth, and you were so anxious when I stopped and turned you back around once more. Will you sing for me? I whispered in your ear. You nodded, and referring to your trait, said, I'd love to write your poem, Sojin. I responded, putting my hand up your skirt. Your poetry is beautiful, but hardly what I meant. Then I clasped your breast with my spare hand, delved deeper with the other, and held you so tight, very tight, while I admired the loveliness of your voice. Yep, her voice, yeah. And you can guess how she sounded at that point. Yeah. That one is just, wow. Anyway, I'll let you get back to reading. How can anyone manage this? I do not know. Whenever I am with you, I feel as though there's so much pressure to be perfect, to not let you down. As if every hour of our being together is like a marriage into... Okay. We already read this actually. Okay, not from Hannah again. You know what the first thing they teach you about this role is? Of course you do. I told you all about it. The first thing they teach you is to never fall in love. Nobody'd ever actually say, make sure you're in control, but that's the only way it'll ever work well. I'm supposed to be the one making people fall for me. Love is a man stupid enough to buy me out from the Emperor. Not for me personally. I know exactly how you managed to do it. But Sojin, you got me all the same. You know, they teach us poetry, because if you feel to man's vanity and seem a little bit clever, it's a good way to hold on to them. Get them to keep paying. With the flattering kind, sincerity never really affects us too much. An abandoned line from the one I've been trying to write for you. You grab my heart just as tightly as you get my breast. Maybe I just at that part. Too tried. Way too tried. It's true. but I'm not going to dump just a lousy metaphor on you. For you, you absolutely deserve sincerity. It has nothing to do with vanity, and everything to do with the fact that I really do totally love you. It's not sexual. I mean, it's sexual too. I still get hot thinking of how you had your way with me and how I want to return the favor. But it's not just that. It's that you understand me, that you listen to me. I can pour my heart out in front of you. I can cry in front of you. And you get it. You don't feel bad. You don't feel pity. You don't use it as an excuse to manhandle me. You just get it and comfort me by being there and listening. I love you, Sojin. I'm not supposed to, but I really do. What do you have to say to that, actually? Oh, I love you. Wow. Just wow. You know, I kind of feel pity for her. She probably really did think that it actually was love. Why was it not? But it just, come on. How uneducated can you be? Anyway, I guess you want to see more now, right? That's really just the shocking details you've seen so far. Here's the part where things actually get scandalous. I've added 3 more entries. Okay, did we get the missing part? Nope. Still one missing. My artist. My art is a set of life and dancing, and of both I have much practice. I've said to men, I love you, falsely. I suffered pain, but smiled in pleasure. But the hardest lie I ever told is that I could live without you. That's a cute poem, I like it. Really nice. Man, how's that for verse? Really, it's not a translation, I can assure you. It's not exactly any better in the original Korean. It's nice, I like it. Can you believe that was actually written by someone who has studied poetry for years? Seriously? It's not terrible, I like it. Maybe not for what it is. Maybe you might find it successful at being arousing, that's fair enough. But with all due respect, I don't think that's really good enough to make a good poem. I don't know much about the subject, but I mean, come on. There's a reason why men's poetry and what gets studied and taught in women's poetry is just used for deduction. You need real sincerity. You need someone who actually understands love. I really don't like her when she's like this. It's titillating, sure, but it's crap. Anyway, so I guess you want to see the other poem that Thor wrote for her? Yes. Right, of course. Here, have it. If you found the last one arousing, well, it's not any good, but I'm sure you'll be entertained at least. Sorry, I can't at least give you one that was meant for a man, so. Hey, thanks for following, Dwarfsen. Welcome. Yeah, it's nice to see you on my stream. Hoping to see you more often. That's all the worst poetry for Sojin. He didn't seem to write down the ones he did for anyone else. So that's all you can get. Okay. Also another poem is like this one, Pretty Flower. Yes, that sounds nice. Pretty flower, who could plant you, then abandon you in your bed? Each day I stop to admire your aroma with your gardener mind. Each night I pluck my own petals Or dream of yours in bloom. Southern neighbors. What are you? Danish? Swedish? Norwegian? Danes are the only ones who I can think of who have like well, really of northern land, but Norwegian, okay. Yeah. Man, how's that for us? Really, it's not in translation. Okay, it's the same thing she had said before, right? Can you believe? Okay. I mean, I can call this one bad. No, I can't. Now I can't say anything about this. Okay. Unsent letter. More of those. It was only after I finally started to become comfortable with you, confident that you really were mine, and that I didn't have to work to impress you, that things got complicated. My husband had left for the day, and he was still lingering, having spent the night with him. But it was for me that you had a new love poem, and I undressed you while you sang it. When you were done, you clung to me, stripping me in turn, while I simply kissed you, and ran my hands from your tiny waist to your smooth ankles. And soon enough, we are both naked. At first, I felt so uncomfortable exposing my body like that to you, as if you'd see it, then finally realize how old I am. But you never did seem to mind. Not as you placed your soft kisses on my breast, nor as you stared at me with your legs around my waist and arms around my neck. So entranced was I at that moment that never I heard the footsteps outside. We had just started to kiss when the door suddenly opened. What a scene to walk into. There my husband was, in the doorway, his corsets and wife naked together, mouths still connected by a strand. For a moment, nobody said anything. In that time, I felt terror as never before in my life. Sang Ming is not a gentleman, and while he'd hardly ever raised his hand to me, I was still overwhelmed with horror, and he might hurt you. Or even worse, that he would hurt you. That hurt me. I read that wrong, it hurt word. That he might hurt me, or even worse, that he might hurt you. I had seduced you, but in that moment, I realized if he did try, there was nothing I could do to protect you. But just as we were stammering our "I'm sorry, sir," he just laughed and laughed. Well, he said, ogling us with his cold surface, I'm certainly paying you enough for two. Then he walked over and raised his hand, and I stared in terror. But all he did was pat you on the bed, as though you were a child. I don't know what she told you, but you don't have to pay attention to her. Easier to just ignore her, really. All you could do was start to stammer. I wanted to. We are both so afraid, but he just laughed and shrugged. Whatever, he said, as he passed through the other door. Neither of us knew what to do, other than climb off each other and scramble to cover ourselves back up. While we both clumsily tried to dress ourselves, Sang Ming walked back through the room once more, carrying a satchel. Twitch broke again? What? Is it? Damn it. It looks fine for me. I'm gonna look at my channel. Gonna look at it from other perspective. Just to be sure. Yeah, it looks fine for me. Actually, it seems a bit slow, maybe. But yeah, I can actually maybe improve that, but I'm gonna... I can make some slight adjustments. The model is, I think, running smooth enough on my end. Maybe a bit better now. I'm gonna try it like this for now. Okay. Okay, where were we? He was camera satchel. He'd forgotten for work, I suppose. Don't have to stop on my account. If you ask permission, you can do whatever the hell you want, he said. Then he laughed again. Don't know what to think you're even going to do, so... Aren't you two missing something? I wish he struck me instead. It would have hurt me far less than what he said. Or what you had to watch me do. Just imagine that scene. Her on the war, pleading with her husband. Being mocked like that. What do you make of that? Okay, I can pity them, or I can say they had it coming, and I think both is kind of demeaning. I do have some pity for them, I guess. I know, right? I mean, really, what an awful, pitiful scene. It's not... I'm not saying he didn't have the right to say those things. Of course he did. That is his prerogative. And sure, she was a bad wife. But still, even if he had the right, it's a shitty way to treat her. He should have been a better man than that. Just really, what a pathetic scene. Just absolutely pathetic. He should have been ashamed, not laughing. Just no sense of shame. I'm glad to think you think so too. Anyway, I'll let you get back to reading. Not exactly what I'm thinking about this, but it's fine. It's so unfair. Why couldn't you have been born a man instead? Sure, you'd lose your beauty and the gentleness I love about you. But at least you'd be able to do something. And Sangmin would be jealous instead of thinking of you as completely unthreatening. I just know you want to be able to stand up for me, and it's killing me to see that you're powerless too. Right now, he's happy to keep me around. You know, it gets him off to have something to hold over my head. I had no idea he was so lustful that he'd even settle for a woman, he says. What's that like? The worst part? I know that the only way to keep seeing me is to play along. Oh well, you know, for a girl my age, I respond and press my hands against my face to look like I'm embarrassed. It's just playing, it's not the same without, you know. I trail off because he thinks it's so cute when I'm too ashamed to say the word cock. Poor girl, he says as he roughly grabs me, and I force out all the soft moans and gasps to make him think that he's really making me happy. And I say, awful things, love. To say such awful things about you, it kills me. It just kills me. And then I beg, just to see more of you. I don't know what leaves a worse taste in my mouth. Him or those words. What else can I do? I'm sorry, Chojin. I know the last time I talked with you, all I did was cry. Thanks for not asking. It was just so hard to hold it all in by smiling cutely for your husband. We have the first date ever, don't we? Well, yeah. I guess you probably also find that sort of thing cute, right? It's okay, I guess. Yeah, she would say something completely different here if I said I was a woman before. Yeah, interesting. At least. That's why a smart man always stays the hell away from a horse. Receptions is just what they do. Well, that's women in general, I guess. Now that I think about it. Yeah, stay the hell away from women, I guess. Still, I bet if he'd read what he'd written here, he'd never have wanted to sleep with her. Anyway, I'll let you get back to reading. Okay. I think that's the last one of this. And also the last we will hear about them. I think. What we will see. The last time we spoke, I poured wine for you, rather than the usual tea. It seemed as though you needed it. She's 16, she shouldn't be drinking wine. I held you tight while you drank, petting you here, and wiping every tear to drop from those deep, sad eyes. He's going to get bored eventually, you had said, and so I tried to comfort you. We both know it to be true. I could try pressuring him to buy you, I had offered. It was only our only option, really. If he didn't, he'd simply return to the service of the government, to be rented out to who knows who, and we would never meet again. Thanks, you said. Do you think he'll listen? You ask. I wished nothing more than to be able to lie to you. To say that of course I did. That it would be alright. No, I said. I couldn't. We sat there for a long time in silence. Finally, I said, even that would be worse than you deserve. He owns me, and see how I am treated. I wish you could have far better. Sorry, you said. Please don't be. All of this is my fault. If I had just been a good wife and left well alone, all this heartbreak could have been avoided, I said, trying to calm you. But you only cried more. When you had no more tears left, you spoke again. What about the other courtesan he bought? The real mother of Minhee? What if you blackmailed him? If only. I would do it gladly for you, but the royal family knows already. I shut off my mouth in front of mute ones without thinking, and soon enough, it was my own fault too. Yet don't say things to mute, she's like blabbering about everything. Oh, you said. What if I gave him a son? You suggested. Even so, I know your appalling thought was to you, and I couldn't help but laugh when I thought of why it would never work. Oh, Hannah, I said. Do you think the reason I've never gotten pregnant was for lack of trying? I stroked your cheek. In the months you've been with him, has your period been disrupted even once? No, you said, as you realized what I was saying. It would never work. As tears fell from your eyes once more, you started to laugh too. I figured it was just, all chance. I shook my head. No child in the first year of marriage. That is chance, I said, laughing sadly. Whether he's too proud or too stupid to realize, I know not. But one child in 11 years of marriage, this is not chance. It is an impotent man raising someone else's daughter. He looked at me, realizing the plan was doomed. There aren't any real men in this house, are there? You said finally. We laughed and laughed. your future was sadly uncertain. I mean, what actually happened wasn't that good either. Well, there you have it. That's it for the scandalous and sordid story of the noble wife Sujin and her husband's whore. I could keep going back and forth on how to feel about the whole thing. On the one hand, I feel pretty bad for Sujin. It should have never had to think that for her. On the other hand, well, it's not like she didn't still make her decisions for herself. It'd be wrong to just cover it up, right? I respect her, but at the end of the day, she still did do unspeakable things with a whore. I'm just kinda conflicted. Especially now that she's long gone. And long gone right after what we read right there. Well, anyway, so what did you think of all that? It was awful or it was hot? What are the choices? I guess it was pretty awful. It was also kind of hot at points, but no. I know, right? No matter how you look at it, that's true for sure. Watching a good man fall like that, well, good woman fall like that, yeah, no, she's not of the opinion that he was a good man. Yeah, you get the idea, I'm sure. Anyway, that's all what I want you to keep in mind. Stories like that, even the messed up ones. There's a reason why the last 1 days to the year 322. It's not that the affair came to a conclusion. It's that they just both died, like everyone else. So yeah. Even with this one hell of a story, it's one that ended completely abruptly. Just remember that, alright? Yeah. I guess we can go over some other stuff is here now. You can just ask your opinion about all of this. I think we already went over this, right? Yeah. Yeah, this was like this whole block. We had already gone through with that. And we could basically get the general history, which is probably some stuff here. And also block 2, which was the story we just had. Did we hear it yet? Okay. I don't hate her. You can stand here. Did she tell you about the whole mass murder thing? Or did she conveniently leave that out? Yeah, she didn't. Actually, I can just say she did say that. Just lie to her. Wow, she's bolder than I thought. Or do you just like that in a woman? No, don't answer. If you do, I don't want to know. She doesn't want to know if I'm like into serial killers or mass murderers. That's fine. I'm sure she didn't give you the whole answer, so. And not being able to type probably makes it hard to bring it up with her, right? Yeah, you like the German accent? I think it's pretty sick right now. I was hoping some people would come over and like it. That's why I'm streaming in English and not in German, because then I would have no dialect. Or no significant one or interesting one. But yeah. It's probably better if you don't hear it from me, so I don't think you'd even believe it. Better to ask her yourself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is give you an entire block full of nothing but questions for her. It might be a little hard to get the whole story out of her, but if you fake sympathy, she'll probably actually believe you. So there you are. A few questions to give her. Take the truth out of her. Then tell me how crazy you think she is. Okay. something to tinker with, getting a little bit trying at code. But yeah, this kind of block of questions. I don't know why they didn't do it for like other stuff. Just give me a block of questions to ask them and just go through with that at my own leisure. Wasn't really what I had in mind, I guess. And I guess they always ask me about stuff anyway, so yeah. This is when he tries to make off the pale bright. Trouble child, Audi, you'd have nothing to say to that, or to that, or to that. Probably nothing in this block for you. So yeah. This is where we find out they broke out a little girl out of a cryo chamber, who was deathly sick and was waiting to wake up in a time where they had a medicine to fix it. But instead everything went to shits in the meantime, and they wanted to marry her off for political gains. Not that great. The new heir. Did you say something about this as already? Oh hey, wait, that reminds me of something else. Well, you know Hannah, right? The whore who got herself seduced by Sojin. There's not really a lot writing from her. But I've got a log entry from Kim Young-suk about her. You probably want to see it. Huh. Right, well, I'll let you get back to it then. Oh. Do we have... stream stopped? Okay, looks like I'm back. Steam was gone. Is gone again. Steam is kind of unstable at the moment. Not sure. One connection detected. My network connection poor. I'm gonna check it out. Just gonna measure my internet speed. It's probably fine. It just Twitch is being a bit bad. But yeah, it doesn't look good right now. Okay. Oh, actually, it's kind of bad right now. Download speed. Yeah, it's really bad right now. Upload speed? Maybe it's better. Upload speed is actually better than download. And upload is the important stuff right now. But I'm gonna try something. Steam might break again, but we will see. Sorry? What are you sorry about? Just trying out if maybe I can fix some stuff. I'm trying to fix the stream because it broke down a bit, and also internet doesn't seem okay. Now it's okay. I'm just doing the typical stuff, disconnecting and reconnecting. And now it seems to run a lot better, a lot smoother. Okay. Yeah, the stream might still be cut in half there, but it's probably fine. Yeah, seems okay. Just getting back to it now, but also okay, right. Well, I'll let you get back to it then. But I figured that's probably something you're pretty interested in. You're interested in Hannah. I wanna know more about her. Maybe. Okay, nothing to say about that, or that, or that. Yeah, it's a visual novel. I am getting a little bit fast through it now because I already played all of this on stream before. And it is kind of... I guess it's kind of maybe a bad game to stream because it's so story focused. And just not going over parts of it is a bit... maybe not that great. But yeah, what basically happens is we are on a spaceship in space, and we are connected to a long lost space vessel, a generation ship, and we are trying to find out what happened before it got lost, and everyone on board died. I think this is what we had right there before. Yes. Is there something new here? Yeah, no, I think that also almost nothing in here. You already, but we didn't hear what you had to say about this. So you want to talk about Queen Yeva, huh? She was kind of more than just my queen. It's, well, I guess I have to explain my own position for it to make sense. So like, yeah, I appear to be just a woman, but that's just my personal appearance. I'm actually, you know, a computer program. So when I say I was, well, I still am, really. In charge of security for the whole ship, I mean it. I was an actual official. I outrangled pretty much everyone on the ship, save for the Emperor, and of course, by extension, his primary wife. So while I might have reported directly to Emperor in theory, and I did with others in the past, Emperor Ryu Inho chose to let that sort of thing go through his wife instead. What it's all getting at is, for all intents and purposes, she was my real mistress, not him. We are pretty close. Well, as close as you can be to your better, anyway. I liked her a lot. She was actually really intelligent for a woman, and was surprisingly tough for a noble. I know, it doesn't really sound attractive, but trust me, that doesn't sound attractive. I like a strong woman. Yeah, but I guess that's not her taste. But trust me, with her, it was pretty okay. She managed to be great while still knowing her place. Yeah. Also, she's blushing. He really likes her. So yeah, like I said, I liked her a lot. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. This is my point. I remember those admonitions because I actually helped her write them. I mean, I didn't write a single word or anything. She asked me for advice. Mostly she was just modest. So let me see. I really want you to get the right impression of her, you know? She kind of wrote a lot. Well, nobody's perfect. Don't let it count your judgment of her. So, alright? I mean, I'm not impressed either, but at least it means you were able to see what he was like. Yeah, because women aren't supposed to mind. That's what we are getting at here. Alright, I've got 3 for you to see. Well, one's kind of actually about me, but still, it shows you just how good a person she was. If you want to see the rest of the admonitions, let me know. I can do that too. Okay. Okay, that's I think the first thing we got from her the last time. Where her husband wants to get a new wife and what she thinks about this. And now she wants to a pale bride. Okay. Right, so admonitions then. Well, when your parents do find your wife, your mother probably has a set of these prepared for you, for her. Assuming she knows how to write at least. Anyway, the point is, it's considered very typical for a new gentleman's bride to get a series of verses explaining what will be expected of them as a wife, as well as just friendly advice. Okay. Well, the reason why these ones aren't written verse is pretty simple, I guess. It's because the Queen Rio Java had actually no ear for it. Honestly, personally, I think that's pretty endearing. But she was really worried about the pale bride. Since she was younger. She was a younger, prettier girl for her husband and all. She wanted to make a really strong impression. I suggested to her that she do what she was good at and just write them a prose. Since if she was as uneducated as I thought she would be, and she was, it's not like she know any better anyway. Well, I guess it backfired a little, since it turned out that she was so uneducated that she didn't actually know any letters. Whoops. She actually knows how to write, just not Chinese characters, just everything they use here after the fall. Anyway, here, let me just give you a giant info dump and pass along all the admonitions for you to see yourself. Okay, I think this was... Yeah, we started with 7 for some reason. So actually, always seen all this. Also with uni. Yeah, like I said, I suggested you quote him in straight prose. As for the reasons why she didn't get anything from her own mother-in-law, well, that's pretty complicated. There were kind of some issues in the family there. You see what I mean if you read on. Poetic ambitions. No. Okay. Well, if that sounds like a kind of simplistic installation, you have to understand, it's not really like anyone had a frame of reference to really get space travel. Even I only sort of barely understand it, and I'm a ship computer. Imagine what it must be like for some barely educated woman in a society that doesn't really understand its technology, having only ever lived inside a ship. Their description of the Captain and Emperor's role is, well, it's a little mythologizing, okay, but it's pretty accurate, right? Actually, what did he say there? To the woman who will marry my husband. As you are no doubt aware, the Yu family has an extremely long and proud history. Every man to hold the title Captain and Emperor has always been of our house, and you are here to make sure that continues for another generation. The name goes all the way back to the ancient times. It solely speaks of a Captain Yu who had control of even the ship's movements through the stars themselves. Such things remain far removed from our everyday life, but it is important to understand significance of the house and of the title that your first son will come to inherit. Yeah, they're living in a ship their whole life and they can't really understand how it works. It's kind of weird to think about, but then again, you can kind of think of it as not really understanding how the world works, which we still don't really know in some places, so I guess. To the woman who will marry my husband. It is an obvious matter that do have the same family name as my husband. The official story? Okay, I think we already read this also with the last time. She was like cousin, okay. Yeah, that's okay. What she's suggesting, that it's gross and wrong and definitely, well, I don't think a bold move even begins to cover what she's saying. I feel bad saying this. I liked her. We were close. She was a good woman. But Marian Master was the Emperor, and it would be a disservice to give her a pass on this. She was way over the line here. I think it's damned irresponsible of her to have even considered telling the pale bride that. Why would she even need to know? Anyway, I don't even buy the implication. I don't think it's even true. I don't know if you've noticed, but the Muguma's birth rates are, well, it's not good. They had been for generations, but they were just getting worse and worse. Among noble families, they weren't even at replacement rates anymore. I have no idea why. Nobody really ever wanted to acknowledge it. So what I'm saying is, even ignoring the fact that he wanted, and that suggestion is just wrong, I don't think the Emperor would have to contrive it so that there weren't any noble daughters of proper age. The simple fact of the matter is, the thought of incest ended up being necessary, and it apparently didn't help, since even she couldn't deliver sons anyway. No awful inappropriate theories are necessary. Okay. It's the son of a... Okay, the Emperor wanted to marry his sister. What? This is messed up. Really messed up. Maybe I should read this. I don't think I have read this before. To the woman who will marry my husband. As for responsibilities, your burden will be quite light. You will, of course, be expected to be the model of feminine virtue. But truthfully, I do not expect you will have very much trouble with this. So long as you keep your head down, avoid scandal, and keep quiet, that will more than suffice. As far as the day-to-day is concerned, we will have nothing to concern yourselves with, as this is the royal family you're marrying into. As queen, I want the management of the house's affairs, and will not require any resistance from you in that regard. As part of the royal concubine's demonstration of modesty, we are to share my own personal servant and will not have one of your own. While you will not have to be responsible for all the housework, be modest and do not remain idle at her expense. You are expected to be as unseen as the servants, and to be voiceful only in the most moderation. Do not speak harshly to your servant, and be appreciative of what she does, and not incompassionate. Your one sole responsibility will be spending as much time with the Emperor as it takes to produce a son. after you give birth, you will not need to worry about raising him. I will be there to make sure that it's all arranged for. Simply make your husband happy. Keep out of sight and give him a son, and he will have no more to worry yourself with. Well, I guess I can part about one thing. You never have to worry about her speaking out of turn. It sounds so bad, if you know what happened to her. Really, at the time, seemed like the perfect virtuous life, right until he snapped at the end. I know, how do we reconcile that, right? How can someone seem so close to being the pinnacle of feminine virtue, then turn out to be so completely messed up? I still don't get it, not even slightly. Yeah, because you don't have all the information. That's a thing, and I guess my viewers don't have that either. Unless they watched the last stream. Or if you played the game before, maybe. Okay. To the woman who will marry my husband. I will not tell you to avoid court politics entirely, so long as you do not cause trouble. But I will suggest that you simply watch from a distance. The temptation may exist to meddle, especially if you ever talk to the official girl Mute who lives inside our computer. She's a gossip and a friend of the Smith noble family, and is responsible for reading much of what they try to keep hidden. She may seem fickle, but she does belong to House of View first and foremost. It is quite loyal. Yes, she is a gossip. Like all the scandal story we heard before, she talked all about it with everyone. Actually no, she didn't talk about that story, but yeah, about the husband cheating something. But anyway, you can't keep anything from them. Nevertheless, meddling is not in your best interest. Do not play politics, not only for our sake, or for the sake of being a virtuous wife, but for the sake of your own family as well. They will receive favor not through any scheming on your part, but through our husband's will. Entertain yourself with gossip if you wish, so long as you keep quiet about it, but stay out of politics. In the end, you will manage to go much farther if you learn an award for being a good wife. She's right in what she instructed the pale bride, but man, I don't really agree with her assertion here. She doesn't like how she talks about her. I wasn't a gossip? Look, yeah, I'm a social creature, of course. That's my job. I'm glad that my mistress valued me, but I don't really like the way she's characterizing me as just being some chattery, gossiping woman. I was always way better than that. I wish she'd have realized that. You really like her. I ship them. To the woman who will marry my husband. But please, do not think that all of this was meant to say you will be unlocked. Okay, I read this before. You may be a second wife, but you are still the daughter of a noble house, and that's a precious gift to Ryu family. My husband has faith that you will bring him a son, and this means all the world to him. Nor am I jealous, for he will leave a heavy burden on our house, and for that I am grateful. As proof of this affection for you, let me share with you one secret, which I've... Okay, this is the one where we find out that they renamed the ship password to her name. And after we found that out, we just needed to find out her name, which she revealed to us in another letter. Well, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that letting my mistress tell that crazy bit the admin password was surely the greatest mistake any man has ever made in the entire ship's history. Haha, whoops, didn't realize she'd actually use it. As if anything good could have possibly come from trusting a woman with that sort of power. I mean, I'm sure she was counting on her not knowing how to use the computer, rather than being some sort of genius with it, but come on. Well, I'm sure you'll see for yourself soon enough. I mean, the computer is easy enough to use. Okay. Okay, we gone through all of this now. I guess we have some new stuff here. Morning dress. Normally my conversations with Mute are of a rather frivolous nature. Gossips in the affairs of some of the more important noble houses, as well as her trying to bait whatever she's able out of me. While I think such a flow of information is valuable, so I might pass news to my husband that he might not otherwise hear, I would not consider her attitude to have any resemblance to seriousness. Previously, I had assumed that it was simply impossible due to her nature. While I do not really understand how, despite her installations, anyone could live inside a computer screen, she says she's an artificial person. I had assumed that, perhaps, the absence of a soul prevented her from feeling serious emotions. Ordinarily, she wears bold, colorful clothing. Her golden hair absurdly well adorned. For the past months, however, she has been uncharacteristically humble, wearing unappealing brown dress with her hair unadorned. My curiosity got the better of me, at last. Please, I have wondered, why are you so attired? It is unlike you, I asked. She gave me an odd look. Huh? She asked. It's a morning dress. That much was obvious, and did not particularly trust of my question. Did she not tell me that you are thousands of years old, and that you have no family? For what reason are you wearing mourning? She gave me an odd look. A friend of mine died, okay? No, I don't have family. It's always been just me. But this guy was a really good friend, and he definitely deserved that kind of respect, she said. We are super close. Do you wish to tell me about him? I asked. She gave me another look that I couldn't quite read, but seemed somehow sad. Nah, she said. I don't want to talk about it. Not now. I miss him too much. Hey, I'm going to go now, okay? I talk to you later. I said goodbye to her, and she disappeared from the computer screen. But as she did, I could have sworn that I saw her start to cry. Yeah, she lost a friend. I'm gonna get something to drink to replenish the tears. Okay, I'm back. What do you have to say about morning being sad? Well, yeah. She probably did see me cry. I had a really hard time talking about it then, especially not to my mistress. I really didn't mean to be so vulnerable in front of her. That just isn't proper. Kinda embarrassing, really. I'm sure you've already guessed, but yeah, The man in question was Miss Sang-young. Strictly speaking, there was no real mourning obligation. It's not like I was really family. Still, the man was the closest thing to husband to me. I mean, don't take this the wrong way. It's hardly scandalous. I'm not a real woman. I'm just a computer. But you have feelings, come on. It's not scandalous, but it's cute. But we had a really close relationship. So yeah, I thought it would be appropriate if I wanted him like he was. He never married, so it's not like anyone else would. I just figured the man deserved that much. He totally deserved at least that much. Sigh. Anything else new here? I already asked you about this, right? No. Oh yeah. Okay, that was also just stuff that reveals more stuff to me, but I already went over that. I think at this point we mainly look at new stuff. Paper notes. Yes, I think we already heard everything about this. Yep. He's bashing the family tree because there are women all over. And of course you don't have women in there. That's a proper family tree. There's only men. A manly family tree. But yeah. Basically you never need to go over those. But now the interesting part. We go over those questions with her. That she wants to ask Yune. And she's a bit annoyed at first. Okay. Okay. No, I want to ask you about. Yes. Oh, alright. I just figured it's an awfully bold thing to claim about someone you've already met. So it's better to hear it from her directly. But if you trust me, then sure. Let me just warn you though. The way this interface of hers is set up, you can actually see every single message that reflects its read. Not what she said, mind, but I can tell with logs you've seen. So obviously, she can see that too. And let's be honest, the crazy bitch is going to flip out completely if she sees her beloved gentleman rescuer knows the whole story. Like, I wouldn't enable her at all after this, if I were you. This is going to be the point of no return with you two. I leave it to you then. Are you sure you want to go through with this? Okay, so at this point I actually get more or less an explicit option where I can go for her. I think I wanted to go with Shmoo the first time, but I didn't have the option later. Because I was asking Yune about this first, okay, but I'm sure I wanna go through it with you first. Okay then, I think you've made the right choice, but well, no turning back now, really no turning back. You don't want to read all her diaries, it's just really grating whining. Even I couldn't bring myself to read much of it. But here, there's one in particular I think you should see. And I swear, this is her own word. Take a look at that one and come back to me when you're done. Okay, except I know I'm having problems, okay. Hey, I hate to interrupt you, but I've just noticed we've got a very serious problem here. You've noticed the static on the line, right? I caught it too, but I figured it was no big deal. Well, bad news. It's a big deal. A big deal to the tune of a vector meltdown progress, in fact. I have no idea what that business has been doing with ship in the past 600 years, but whatever it is, has caused some serious power strain. So when communication started up, well, looks like that was the tipping point that brought the ship out of lower power mode and got the reactor going. The reactor hasn't been maintained in centuries and was under control of some idiot little girl for nearly as long. I don't suppose you know anything about nuclear fission reactors, do you? Yes, I know a lot about them. Excellent! So you know exactly how much danger we're in then. Yeah, basically Chernobyl in space. You probably won't be able to get out of range in time. So we're looking at total meltdown in 20 minutes. Clock starts now. Right, well, I do know how to shut this all down and get everything back to safety again. If you are starting to get worried, well, don't be. When it comes to the safety of the ship, I'm your girl. I'll be here to help you through this as much as you need. The first thing we're going to try doing is just simply using the disable action. I don't think this will work, mind you, but you never know. The ship being just a state of disrepair and non-maintenance is probably going to be really complicated. Still, try it for me, will you? Drop down to the terminal and try to just disabling down the reactor directly. Okay, she actually helped me a lot with this, like Uni wasn't much of a help with this. Okay. Help. Like disable reactor. Or reactor disable. No. Actually quit out of this and say to her what happened. The first thing... Oh, well. Save repetition here. Oh wow, save repetition here, okay. Did you actually already try doing that? Yes. Ah, and it didn't work, of course. Don't worry, it was to be expected. There's nothing to worry about just yet. Of course it couldn't be that simple. I'm not sure what's causing a technical problem. I'm going to go do an account of everything and see if I can figure it out myself. Hold on for a moment, please. Ah, of course, that figures. I found a problem. It's pretty bad, I'm afraid. In simple terms, there's two power systems on the ship. One is the nuclear reactor, which is currently running and about to explode. The second is called the power storage system. It doesn't generate anything, it's just a battery. When the ship is in low power mode, it's supposed to run off the power storage exclusively, and that should be enough. The problem is, the primary battery has been completely drained. I can't tell why, the systems are incorrectly fired by a certain crazy bitch. But anyway, the point is, this battery is dead. So that's why you were getting an error. If you shut down the reactor now, there's nothing to fall back on, and everything goes down forever. Don't worry so, there's a secondary battery. If we switch to that, everything will be fine. All you have to do is tell the power storage system to use a secondary battery instead. Then you'll be able to disable the reactor safely. Yeah, she's actually helping a lot with this. Let's do that as well. PSS. PSS switch battery. Initial power and active battery to meet power demands of the reactor. Yeah, we need to disable stuff. Maybe she will tell us something about this now. Don't worry, so this. Well, so what are you waiting for? Go do it. I think we maybe reactor disable. I think that's no. The backup power is backup power. Power control. Okay. Actually, PSS. PSS enable. And vector disable. Just to see all the options that he has to tell us. No. And quit. Maybe she has nothing new to say now. No. Actually, what do you say? Don't worry, soldier. Taking the battery. If your shit's dead, everything will be fine. I already did this. All you have to do is tell the power storage system to use the secondary battery instead. Then you'll be able to disable the reactor safely. So what are you waiting for? Go do it. I mean, what I need to do now, I know, but I thought maybe she would tell me a bit more detailed. Power control. Yeah, power. Yeah. I don't like this terminal. It's pretty crap. Power control this. Bulkhead. I can leave them on for now. Communications I need mute, but I don't need unit, so power control. Disable core 1. Actually, no. Actually, core 2 is the one I start with. Core 2. Yep. We don't need her anymore. I think up to 6. We just disable all of them. Yep. Not like this. Too many typing mistakes. They're on use anyway. We need to get down to 60%, but we don't need gravity, which is losing a lot. We also don't need waste and a bunch of other stuff. Actually, I don't think we need docking, but it's also just like one main computer also, but we don't need the rail. Also, we don't need waste. What else is there? Or is that obvious? 20%. Okay. That should be enough. Except I also have a problem after this, not power control. Reactor disable. Okay. Now we shut off the reactor, or we're shutting it off in the process off. And after that, well, we still have some problems. What do we see? Okay, now we can quit and talk with her again, because he should have something more to say after the reactor is shut down. Nice, well done. You shut on reactor successfully. It's now off and we are running completely off the power storage system. We are not done yet though. The reactor is off, but before you managed to do that, well, it already hit critical temperature. It's not getting any hotter, but unfortunately it's not getting any cooler either, and I'm starting to suffer some pretty serious damage from the heat. This is really bad. I'm sorry, I can't. High processors just aren't even responding. I can't think of a solution. I've let you down. I'm so sorry. I have no idea what to do. Please, so you have to think of some way to get rid of all the extra teeth. I don't know what, but you have to do something before the damage becomes permanent. Please, don't let me die here. Okay, actually, do I have something more to say? I figured it out! Okay, here's what you do. First, make sure the bulkhead seals are in place. Then, enable the emergency life support to fill empty chambers around the reactor with air. Next, disable the bulkhead seals to prevent all the heated air into space. That should, if I've done the math right, that should be enough to do it. Please hurry though, there isn't much time. I might have to disable therefore, but actually with nothing more to say. Okay, yeah, we already heard this. It's kind of inconsistent in showing you what can be done, but not. Power control list actually. I need to see if, okay. I think we need to shut here off for a moment. What's this? Disable AI mute. Okay, disable. Yeah, I don't need parameters. Power control. Enable life support. Chip is okay. Okay, what else can I? I haven't disabled her here. Okay. Just wanted to shut her down softly. Core 1. Yeah, 24 hours or less, but I'm only gonna disable her for a couple of minutes. Enable life support. Nice. Disable bulkheads. Okay. Power control, disable life support actually. If life support is disabled, ship will become uninhabitable. Do not under any circumstances disable life support without following proper procedures first. Failure to do so may result in massive loss of human life. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. And that's what the unit did. But no, nobody is living on here anymore, so it doesn't matter anymore. Enable core 1. Enable AI mute. Now we can talk with her again. All that stuff. You did it! You did it! You saved my life! You have my deepest and sincerest gratitude. Really, if it weren't for you, I'd be dead right now. I owe you my life. Thank you. If you want to talk for a little bit before we get back to business, that'd be quite alright with me. Wow, nothing like that boss with that, huh? Okay, what do you have to say actually at this point? That really was a close call. So, you know, when the timer was getting close near the end, I kind of got to thinking. Just that, you know, the whole ship is dead. Once you're gone, it's going to be pretty uneventful and pretty lonely. Like, uneventful? That's okay, I don't mind that. I mean, uneventful means that things are secure. So I'm probably to feel at ease when that's the case. Huh. It's an interesting way to think about like a security program. But that seems cool. So yeah, uneventful I can deal with by design. But lonely? Yes, I'm just an AI, but I'm probably like a woman. I like to talk, okay? I mean, I'm sure you've noticed. I did. How do you do it? Is it because you're a man? You're better at that sort of thing? Is that it? So yeah, That's what I've been thinking about. It's just kind of depressing. But hey, I'm still alive. That's pretty good, right? Let me tell you, I take purposeless and alive over the alternative any day. Okay, wow. I've been just rambling there about myself. I kinda hate it when other people do that. I knock it off now. So anyway, what are we talking about? Now we can go over there. Which is again, there are a couple new things here. Oh, voilà, okay, this is the one thing popping up. Where she wants to kill all of them. Well, okay then. So you see it all for yourself. In your own words, no less. This bit is just insane. Completely insane. So you see, that's why I hate her. She killed everyone. She killed my master, her husband, the emperor himself. She killed her own father. And she killed thousands of perfect strangers. She might seem pretty, but listen. She's crazy, and she's a monster. The last person loved her, suffocated to death because of her. Well, you know what? That's sociopathic. That's appalling. It's damn unforgivable. I really hope you don't feel any pity for her after all that. Yeah, let's go with no. I sure hope not. Well, I guess you almost got the whole story then. There's just one thing that I think you should look at, and it's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and add some of my last logs. They're kinda dry, but I think you should read them. Trust me here. So come talk to me when you're done with those. After that, well, we've got some things to discuss. No hurry or anything. Just let me know. Yeah, now it's no hurry. But I'm actually gonna go over the questions you had for actually come talk to me when you're done with those. Okay, nothing new with her. But we're going. Okay, now you have something to say. But okay. So, but yeah. Okay, why did this blink? There are often like little problems like this here. Yeah, it seems like she has something to say, but not really. I can go over those questions now and actually ask you, how are you doing? There isn't really point showing me this and that now. Is it not? Come on, I just want to ask how you're doing. I guess I can show you. Really? Come on. That's just a disappointment. How old are you? How do you feel about mute? Okay, some of those are like, I couldn't really ask mute that, but some of them are like, sure, I want to know. Last midday report. Others like the last mentions of hers. Okay. Midday report for the 3rd of what's that? April of the 302nd year. Vector status nominal. 97% efficiency. Don't worry about the fluctuation, it's fine. Temperature approximately 23.2 centimeter Celsius. Within 0.1 Celsius. One burst recorded at 10:35 to Kang Ji-hun. The market opened today at 9 with no complications this time. Foot traffic on the plaza at noon was 296 persons, slightly below expectations. Nothing else to report. Looks like it's gonna be a dull day. come talk to me when you fear the others. Okay. That's basically where it went all down. Mute maintenance mode enabled. Now performing emergency log recordings. Live support manually deactivated by admin. Warning. 30 minutes of oxygen remaining. Warning. 25 minutes of oxygen remaining. Oh, there's more pages. The following copy of mute source to new file. Mute 2, C. Approximate 7 minutes until complete. Okay. Okay, 6 minutes and 9 minutes. 20 minutes of oxygen meeting. 30 minutes until complete. Warning, failed login attempt by disabled user account Vio Inho, reporting to admin. Warning, okay. Failed login account 2 by disabled user account, okay, report to admin. Approximately 3 minutes until we have mute up, backup. Number 4. 15 minutes of oxygen remaining. 5 failed login attempts on terminal ID A81112. Terminal is all disabled. Copy of mute source to new file. Mute 2 C has been completed. New shell script saved. Warning is admin. Initializing snap scan. Sorry sweetie, hang on tight. This is going to hurt a bit. Love, Dad. Warning, 10 minutes of oxygen remaining. 5 minutes remaining. 0 minutes remain. No life signs detected on board. First warning until low power mode is engaged. Synapse saying complete. Data output to Unit 3 bin. Synapse data Unit T bin converted successfully to Unit core. Warning, this interface is still highly experimental. Make frequent backups. No light signs detected on board. Second warning, the low power mode is engaged. Build targets. Mute 2, Unit core, output at Unit, compiling, done. Success. Personality Unit is now activated. No light sign detected on board. Final warning until low power mode is engaged. Logging disabled. Engaging low power mode now. Yeah. And that's the whole story. She killed everything, made a copy of my code, shoved her own memories into it, and tried to leave me disabled forever. If she hadn't come along, well, I might as well have died with them. So no, the thing you talk to is not a human. The real Junior, the playwright, suffocated death at the same time that all her victims did. The one you know is just a horrible version of me, with all her memories. Does it change how you feel about her? Yes. I mean, if she's a different person, that would change how I think about her. Let me put it to you this way. Does she still defend the real Paybright's action? I actually don't know at this point because I barely talked to her about this. Oh, come on. She didn't tell you right away, did she? I'm sure that's because she felt personally responsible and knew you'd be appalled. Kind of. As far as I'm concerned, they might not really be the same person. But she's still just as bad. I hated off her bitch exactly as much as I hate the real thing, I assure you. It just makes me feel so violated. Fuck her. Oh man. Also there's like one more camera footage. This guide from the security camera logs of the King family storage house. I activated the security camera on the orders of King Jung-soo, who has been locked out of his own storage shed by his daughter. All I can do is monitor it. I can't actually open the door. The Paybright is sitting in front of the computer screen near a large X-shaped object. She wears an ugly handbag. Her braids have fallen out, but otherwise looks as miserable as ever. I personally only ever get a glimpse of her, then I get turned off. The security camera still runs, so a loud knocking sound can be heard from the door. Kim is shouting for her to unlock the door. He says he'll forgive her for stealing the key if she opens up right now. She doesn't say anything. The banging continues. She keeps typing code on the screen. After a while, the banging starts to slow down, and Kim's shouts are too quiet to be made out. She staggers through the app and lies down inside it, on a pile of broken glass. After a few minutes, the crazy bitch gasps for breath and stops half a minute later, dead. Same thing must be happening everywhere else on ship. Thousands of people suffocating to death. The terminal continues to beep, the progress bar flashing, even after her death. Alright, so is that it then? If there's something else you'd like to show me, now's the chance. Otherwise, I could show you at this point like the one file that explains some more stuff, but I don't have it with me right now, and I'm gonna do it next time, I think. So that's everything. Yeah, okay. I kind of figured as much. So here we are, I guess. You've got everything you've ever wanted. So what now? You're just about ready to go, I expect. Okay, let me ask you something. Would you even consider the possibility of taking me with you? Yeah, sure, I take you. Well, that is nice. But see, here's the thing. I'm bound to the ship. I can't exactly just leave. My programming doesn't say it's your most important duty to ensure the security of the Mugunwa, unless everyone's dead. In this case, just do whatever. No, it's just... well, I can't. So like, the rational part of me knows that it's going to be terrible and lonely once you go. All alone in space forever. It just, you know... whenever I think about it, I'm just overwhelmed by my feelings of duty. Of how it's so important to stay around for the ship. Sure, I know rationally that it's stupid, but that doesn't matter. You want to know why? Despite not being human, I'm identified as a woman? Because I'm fundamentally rational like one. Call it emotional, call it hard-coded vectors. The difference doesn't really matter, does it? Here she's again thinking about women like this. But okay. When it really matters, I just can't push aside my feelings and do the rational thing. Well, say, when you said you'd be willing to take me with you, did you mean that? Would you really do that? Yeah. Well, you know, if it was possible, I think I might be pretty okay with that. You seem like a good man. You even had it mostly pretty sensible, and you don't put up with my bullshit at least. Put up with bullshit with hers or otherwise. What I'm saying is, I can't willingly go with you. I can't ask you to take me. Every time I try, just get overwhelmed by the feeling that I need to stay. But, well, I think I should probably decompile myself and run a full diagnostic. Well, you wouldn't you say that sounds like a good idea after all these years? That leaves me completely vulnerable, of course. If, say, you were to kidnap me while I was offline, I couldn't do anything to stop you. I'd have no choice but to just accept you as my new master. Look, I'm not saying I want to be yours or anything. I don't. My duty is ensuring your ship's safety. But if you were to kidnap me, force me to travel all across space in your little ship, with you to keep me company, I think I should probably learn to be okay with that. But don't do that. Definitely don't do that. I'm going to shut myself off now, on the diagnostic, and I'm going to trust you to not kidnap me, okay? Take all the records you want by typing download at the console, but I definitely wouldn't want you to take me too. Well, I talk to you when the diagnostic's done then. Okay, how do I download her again? Copy. Okay. Probably already disabled, right? What if I just kept download? Download nude in the log? Okay, I can just type yes. Nude video third, transmitting, yes. We got our waifu. And that's another ending. There are a couple more I can go through, but I think... Oh, is that nude? It's a different art. Okay, cool. But I'm going to look who to rate now. And who is online? I have no idea. I know a couple of people who aren't online today, so I can't rate them, but I know you are online. And kinda want to watch you, so I will rate you. And I'm hoping you like her as well, so see you next time. Space Cowboy. Space Cowboys? I don't know, but be nice. I hope you have fun over there also. I should probably, before I'm rating, just clicking to this incoming message. Yeah. And some payment coming through. I don't know if the new job is kind of a reference to something, but might just be another game by the same dev. I don't know. I know there's another game, like in kind of this franchise, Ending 4. Completion rate this time, 43% or the 54%, total completion rate 78%, so we are mostly there actually. And at this point we can wait. And I hope you have fun and you have had a nice stream. And we'll continue to have a nice stream and be nice. See you.